Eli sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the phone in his hand. It felt heavy, like a weight pulling him down into a sea of sadness. The bright screen showed a picture of him and his best friend Max, taken just a few months ago. They were laughing, their smiles wide and bright, but now the joy felt so far away. Max had moved across the country, and since then, Eli felt distant, like a balloon drifting away from its string. Every day, Eli thought about reaching out to Max. He missed their long talks about everything and nothing, the silly jokes, and the comfort of just being together. But the distance felt like an unscalable wall. What if Max was too busy to talk? What if he had made new friends and forgotten all about Eli? Those thoughts swirled in his mind like a storm, and each time he wanted to call, he hesitated. Eli took a deep breath and stood up, pacing his small room. He glanced around, noticing the posters on the walls, remnants of their shared interests. There was a poster of their favorite band and another of a video game they loved to play together. Each item was a reminder of their friendship making. His heart ached a little more. Maybe I should just text him, Eli muttered to himself. He sat back down on the bed, fingers hovering over the keyboard. But what would he say? Hey, I miss you. It felt too simple, too weak. He wanted to express how much Max meant to him, how the laughter had faded since he left. But how could he put that into words? Feeling overwhelmed, Eli decided to step outside for a bit of fresh air. The sun was shining bright, and the warmth wrapped around him like a comforting blanket. He walked to a nearby park, where he and Max had spent countless hours talking and laughing. The swings creaked softly in the breeze, and Eli could almost hear Max's laughter echoing in the air. Finding a bench, Eli sat down, watching children play and families enjoying picnics. He felt a pang of loneliness. This should be us, he thought, imagining himself there with Max, sharing snacks and stories. Instead, he sat alone, feeling a deep ache in his chest. Suddenly, he noticed a group of kids playing a game of catch. Nearby, they were laughing and shouting, their joy contagious. Eli felt a flicker of hope. If those kids could connect and have fun, maybe he could too. Maybe he didn't have to let distance define his friendship with Max. Inspired, Eli pulled out his phone again. This time, he opened a new message. Hey, Max. I was just thinking about you. I really miss our talks and hanging out. How are you doing? He hesitated for a moment, then pressed send. The message flew into the digital void, and his heart raced. What if Max didn't reply? What if he had moved on? Eli decided to distract himself by taking a walk around the park. He watched the leaves rustling in the wind and listened to the birds chirping. Nature always had a way of calming his mind. As he walked, he thought about all the things they had done together, the late-night gaming sessions, the movie marathons, and the adventures they had shared. Those memories filled him with warmth, reminding him that their friendship was real and meaningful. After a while, Eli returned to the bench, his heart still racing with anticipation. Just as he sat down, his phone buzzed. He quickly grabbed it, and his heart soared when he saw Max's name on the screen. Hey, Eli, I miss you too. Things have been busy, but I'd love to catch up. Let's FaceTime tonight? Eli felt a wave of relief wash over him. Yes, I'd love that, he replied, a smile spreading across his face. It felt like a lifeline thrown to him in turbulent waters. Suddenly, the distance didn't seem so daunting. They could still connect, share their lives, and support each other, no matter how far apart they were. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Eli headed home, his heart lighter than it had been in weeks. He realized that while distance could create a gap, it didn't have to break their bond. They were still friends, and their connection was stronger than miles. Later that evening, Eli set up his laptop, excitement bubbling inside him. When the call came through, he answered, and there was Max, looking just as he remembered. The sight of his friend's face filled Eli with joy. They immediately fell into a rhythm, talking about everything that had happened since the move, sharing stories, and laughing like no time had passed at all. "I've been trying to find new places to explore," Max said, his eyes sparkling. "But it's just not the same without you." "I know what you mean," Eli replied. "Everything feels different here, too. I miss our hangouts. We should plan a visit soon." "Definitely. I'll show you around, and we can have a gaming marathon like old times," Max said with enthusiasm. The night flew by as they caught up, reminiscing about their favorite memories and sharing new experiences. Eli felt a warmth in his heart, a reminder that true friendships could withstand any distance. He realized that it didn't matter how far apart they were. What mattered was the bond they shared. As the call ended, Eli felt a sense of hope and renewal. He knew that even though they were miles away, they would always find a way to reconnect. With a smile on his face, he looked out of his window, watching the stars twinkle in the night sky. He felt grateful for their friendship and excited for what lay ahead. In that moment, Eli understood something important. They had laughed at his soft hands and his gentle nature, but it was that very kindness that kept their friendship alive. And while distance might challenge them, it could never break their bond. Eli was ready to face whatever came next, knowing that love and friendship could conquer even the greatest distances. Eli sat at his desk, the glow of his laptop illuminating his face. The excitement from his FaceTime call with Max lingered, but as the night wore on, a familiar feeling crept back in. It was the loneliness that came from being apart from someone he cared about deeply. The laughter and warmth they shared earlier faded into the background, replaced by the quiet hum of the world outside his window. The next morning, Eli woke up with a sense of determination. He didn't want to let the distance between him and Max define their friendship. He thought about how they used to plan spontaneous adventures, whether it was exploring the local arcade or going on weekend hikes. Those moments had been filled with joy and laughter, and he wanted to create new memories, even from afar. Eli decided to take action. He grabbed his phone and opened the Notes app. "Ideas to stay connected with Max," he wrote at the top. The first thought that came to him was a shared project. They had always enjoyed working on creative projects together, whether it was making videos or writing stories. Why not start a virtual project? He typed, "Start a collaborative story." They could take turns writing chapters, sharing their creativity no matter the distance. Eli smiled at the idea. It was something they both loved, and it would keep them connected. Next, he thought about their favorite games. They had spent countless nights playing video games side by side, cheering each other on and laughing at their silly mistakes. "Let's play online," he added to the list. They could set a regular game night where they could compete or team up, just like old times. Finally, Eli thought of something special. "Plan a visit," he wrote. He knew they both wanted to see each other again. A visit would not only strengthen their bond, but also create new memories to cherish. With a sense of excitement, Eli started to feel hopeful. He could take steps to bridge the distance. After finalizing his list, Eli sent it to Max with a message. "Hey, I have some ideas for us to stay connected. Let me know what you think." He felt a rush of anticipation as he hit send, hoping Max would be just as excited. The day moved slowly as Eli waited for a reply. He kept checking his phone, his heart racing every time he heard a notification. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Max's response came through. "I love these ideas. The story sounds awesome, and I'm down for game nights. Let's plan a visit soon. I miss you, buddy." Eli's heart soared. They were on the same page, and he felt a renewed sense of hope. They spent the next hour discussing their story idea, brainstorming characters and plot lines. The laughter and excitement flowed easily through their messages, as if no time or distance had passed. Eli felt the distance between them shrink with every exchanged text dot. As the days turned into weeks, Eli and Max settled into a new routine. They dedicated time to their collaborative story, taking turns writing chapters and sharing updates. Eli found joy in crafting scenes and characters, and he loved reading Max's contributions. Each new chapter felt like a piece of their friendship, coming to life again. Game nights became a highlight of their week. They would spend hours playing together, chatting about their day and sharing laughs over silly in-game moments. Eli realized that these online interactions filled the void left by Max's absence. While it wasn't the same as being together in person, it was a way to maintain their bond and create new memories. One evening, while they were in the middle of a gaming session, Max suddenly said, "You know, Eli, I've been thinking. I really want to come back for a visit. How about I come next month?" Eli's heart raced at the thought of seeing Max again. That would be amazing. We could go to our favorite places and catch up in person. I can't wait. The excitement of planning the visit brought a new energy to their conversations. They talked about everything they would do together, from going to the arcade to grabbing their favorite pizza. Eli couldn't help but feel a sense of hope blooming in his chest. Their friendship was not only surviving the distance, it was. Eli woke up the next morning with a smile still on his face. The memories from yesterday's reunion with Max were fresh in his mind. They had spent the whole day together, laughing and sharing stories, and it felt like no time had passed yet. All since Max moved away. But as he lay in bed, warmth turned into a flicker of worry. How could he keep this connection alive now that Max was back in his own city? He sat up, rubbing the sleep from his eyes, and glanced at his phone. They had spent the last few days in a blissful whirlwind of laughter and adventure, but now reality was setting in. Max would be heading back home soon, and Eli didn't want to lose that spark they had reignited. Eli's mind raced with ideas. He wanted to make sure they didn't fall back into the silence that came with distance. He remembered the plans they had made about staying connected through their collaborative story and game nights. Those ideas had been great, but he wanted something more, something that would keep their friendship strong across the miles. After breakfast, Eli grabbed a notebook and a pen. He began to write down ideas, brainstorming ways to deepen their friendship. Daily messages, he wrote. Share a photo every day. He wanted to create a routine that would keep them in each other's lives, even when they were apart. As he filled the pages, Eli thought about the times they had spent together in the past. They had always supported each other through tough times, and he wanted that support to continue, even if it was just through messages or video calls. Weekly video chats, he wrote. We can check in and share what's going on in our lives. Feeling inspired, Eli decided to text Max. Hey, I've been thinking about how we can stay close after you go back home. I have some ideas I want to share. He pressed send and waited, his heart pounding with excitement and nervousness. A few minutes later, Max replied, I'm all ears. Let's do it. Eli felt a wave of relief wash over him. Max was just as eager to stay connected, and that made him feel hopeful. They spent the rest of the day texting back and forth, discussing their ideas. Max loved the thought of sending daily messages and sharing photos. They even decided to create a shared album where they could upload pictures of their daily lives, no matter how small. It'll be like we're living our lives together, Max said, and Eli couldn't agree more. As the sun began to set that evening, Eli and Max sat together in the park, their favorite spot. The sky was painted with shades of orange and pink, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. They talked about their plans for the future, their dreams, and how they could support each other in pursuing them. "I want to start a YouTube channel," Eli admitted. "I've always wanted to share my art and ideas with others, but I've been too scared." Max smiled encouragingly. "You should definitely go for it. I'd love to help you with that. We can brainstorm ideas together. You have so much talent." Eli felt a rush of warmth at Max's words. He had always admired Max's ability to encourage others and lift their spirits. "Thanks, Max. That means a lot. I just need to find the courage to start." "You have that courage in you," Max replied confidently. "Remember when we made that video project together? You were amazing. You can do this." Eli nodded, feeling inspired. "You're right. I just need to take the first step." They spent the rest of the evening discussing ideas for the channel, brainstorming content, and even planning a launch date. As they walked back home, Eli felt a sense of hope. He realized that their friendship was a source of strength, and together they could encourage each other to chase their dreams. The next few days passed quickly, filled with laughter and adventure. They explored more of their hometown, revisiting their favorite spots and creating new memories. Eli felt grateful for every moment they spent together, knowing that Max would soon leave again. On the last night before Max's departure, they sat on Eli's porch, watching the stars twinkle in the night sky. "I can't believe you're leaving tomorrow," Eli said softly, his heart heavy with the thought of saying goodbye. "I know. It feels like we just got started," Max replied, his voice filled with emotion. Eli took a deep breath, trying to gather his thoughts. "I want you to know how much you mean to me. Even when you're far away, you're still my best friend. I'll always be here for you, no matter what." Max nodded, his eyes shining with sincerity. "And I'll always be here for you. We're in this together, Eli. Distance can't change that." As they talked late into the night, Eli felt a renewed sense of determination. He didn't want to dwell on the sadness of separation. Instead, he wanted to focus on the hope and possibilities that lay ahead. They could make this work, no matter how far apart they were. The next morning, they exchanged heartfelt goodbyes at the bus station. Eli hugged Max tightly, feeling the weight of their friendship in that moment. "Don't forget to call me when you get home," he said, trying to lighten the mood. "Of course. And don't forget to start working on that channel. I believe in you." Max replied with a green dot as the bus pulled away. Eli waved until he could no longer see Max. The feeling of sadness washed over him again, but it was quickly followed by a sense of determination. He pulled out his phone and opened their shared album. The first photo he saw was one of them laughing at the arcade, and a smile spread across his face. Eli knew they would face challenges ahead, but he felt hopeful. He had a plan to stay connected, and he believed they could do it. He picked up his notebook, flipping to the page where he had written down his ideas. They had a friendship built on support and encouragement, and he was ready to nurture it. As the days turned into weeks, Eli stayed true to his promise. He sent daily messages to Max, sharing photos of his art and updates about his life. Max replied with enthusiasm, sharing his own experiences and encouraging Eli to take steps toward his goals. Eli began working on his YouTube channel, finally finding the courage to start. With Max's support and belief in him, he felt empowered. Every time he uploaded a new video, he felt a sense of accomplishment and pride. Through it all, Eli learned that distance could be challenging, but it didn't have to break their bond. Their friendship remained strong, fueled by hope, creativity, and unwavering support. They had laughed at his soft hands and gentle nature, but it was that very kindness that kept their connection alive. As Eli looked up at the stars one night, he felt grateful for Max and the strength of their friendship. He knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, united by their shared dreams and the hope that kept their friendship thriving. Asterisk, Eli sat at his desk, staring at his laptop screen. He had been excited to start his YouTube channel, but now a wave of doubt washed over him. The camera sat on the table, staring back at him like a silent judge. What if his videos weren't good enough? What if no one wanted to watch? He took a deep breath, trying to push those thoughts aside. It had been a few weeks since Max had gone home, and they had kept in touch through messages and video calls. Their daily chats had become a lifeline for Eli, but he still felt a growing distance. Despite their promises to stay connected, he could sense that something was missing. The excitement of their reunion had faded into the routine of daily life, and Eli couldn't help but feel a bit lost. He opened his messages with Max, scrolling through their conversations filled with encouragement and laughter. "You can do this, Eli," Max had said during their last call. "Just be yourself and have fun." Eli wanted to take that advice to heart, but fear held him back. After staring at the blank screen for a while, Eli decided to reach out to Max. He quickly typed a message. "Hey, I've been thinking about starting my channel, but I'm feeling nervous. Can we talk later?" He pressed send and waited, his heart racing. He knew he needed Max's support now more than ever. A few minutes later, his phone buzzed. "Of course, I'm here for you. Let's talk tonight." Eli felt a wave of relief wash over him. He knew that talking to Max would help him feel more confident. Later that evening, they connected through a video call. Max's face appeared on the screen, his smile brightening Eli's mood. "Hey there, how are you feeling?" he asked, leaning closer to the camera. Eli shrugged, trying to hide his uncertainty. "I'm okay, just nervous about the channel. What if nobody likes it?" Max shook his head, his expression serious. "Eli, it doesn't matter how many people watch. What matters is that you enjoy it. You have a unique voice, and people will connect with you. Just be yourself." Eli smiled, feeling encouraged by Max's words. "Thanks, that really helps. I guess I just need to take the plunge, huh?" "Exactly. Why don't we do a practice video together? I can help you with ideas, and we can film something fun, just like old times," Max suggested, his enthusiasm infectious. Eli's eyes lit up at the idea. "That sounds awesome. We can do a fun challenge or something." "Perfect. Let's plan it. We can record it this weekend." "I'll help you edit it too," Max said, and Eli felt a wave of excitement wash over him. The thought of creating a video with Max made him feel less alone in this journey. As they continued to talk, Eli felt his confidence grow. They brainstormed ideas for the video, laughing and sharing silly challenges they could do. Eli realized how much he missed this working together, being creative, and just having fun. It reminded him of the bond they shared, and he was grateful for Max's unwavering support. The weekend arrived, and Eli set up his camera in his living room. He felt Eli sat at his desk, staring at the screen of his laptop. The video he made with Max had been live for a week now, and the response was overwhelming. Friends and family had shared their love and support, but Eli still felt a twinge of anxiety. The numbers on the screen showed views and likes, but deep down, he worried about the quality of his content. What if people only liked it because Max was in it? He sighed and leaned back in his chair, rubbing his eyes. It was easy to feel distant again, especially without Max by his side. Their video chats had become a highlight of his days, but sometimes Eli felt like he was missing out on so much. He wanted to share experiences with Max, not just through screens, but in person. Eli picked up his phone and opened their group chat. Max had sent a message earlier that day. "Hey, I've been thinking about visiting soon. How does that sound?" Eli's heart raced at the thought. A visit would mean more than just reconnecting. It would mean creating new memories together. After a moment of hesitation, Eli typed back quickly, "Yes, that would be amazing. I can't wait to see you." A few minutes later, Max replied, "Awesome. I'll check my schedule and let you know when I can come. We'll have so much fun." Eli felt a wave of excitement wash over him. Planning a visit would give him something to look forward to, a chance to bridge the distance that sometimes felt so heavy. He thought about all the things they could do together, visiting their favorite places, playing games, and just enjoying each other's company. As the days passed, Eli threw himself into planning for Max's visit. He made a list of places they could go, activities they could do, and even new video ideas they could create together. He wanted everything to be perfect, to show Max how much he appreciated their friendship. One evening, while brainstorming ideas, Eli remembered an old park they used to visit. It had a beautiful lake, towering trees, and a playground. He could picture them there, laughing and reminiscing about their childhood. "That's it," he said aloud, grabbing his notebook to jot it down. That night, Eli couldn't sleep. The thought of seeing Max again filled him with joy, but he also felt nervous. What if everything had changed too much? What if Max didn't feel the same way about their friendship? Eli pushed those thoughts away, reminding himself of all the support they had shared over the past few weeks. Finally, the day of Max's visit arrived. Eli woke up early, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. He spent the morning cleaning his room, making sure everything was tidy and welcoming. He prepared snacks, set up their gaming area, and even planned a special dinner for later that evening. When the time came for Max to arrive, Eli stood at the door, heart racing. He could hear the sound of a car pulling up, and soon after, there was a knock. Eli opened the door, and there stood Max, grinning from ear to ear. "Eli!" Max exclaimed, stepping inside and pulling Eli into a tight hug. "It's so good to see you." "You too. I've missed you so much," Eli replied, stepping back to take a good look at his friend. Max looked the same, but somehow different, like he had grown in confidence and energy. They spent the first few hours catching up, sharing stories about what had happened since Max moved away. Eli felt the distance fade away as they laughed and reminisced about their favorite memories. It was like they had never been apart. "Let's go to the park," Eli suggested, excited to show Max the place he had been thinking about. As they walked, the sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the sounds of birds chirping. Eli felt alive with anticipation. When they reached the park, Eli felt a wave of nostalgia wash over him. "This place brings back so many memories," he said, looking around. "Remember when we tried to build that treehouse?" Max laughed. "Yeah, and we ended up just making a giant mess instead." They wandered around, taking in the sights, and Eli felt a sense of peace. Being together again felt like a dream come true. They found a bench by the lake and sat down, watching the water shimmer in the sunlight. "I'm really glad I came back," Max said, breaking the comfortable silence. "I needed this. I've missed being here." Eli nodded, feeling the same way. "It's been tough. I've been working on my YouTube channel, but it's not the same without you. I feel like I've lost my spark." Max looked serious for a moment. "You haven't lost your spark, Eli. You just need to find it again. You have so much talent and creativity. We can work on it together." Eli felt a warmth spread through him at Max's words. "Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I just want to make something meaningful, you know? Let's make something great together." Max replied with enthusiasm. "We can brainstorm new ideas and create something even better than before." Eli's heart swelled with hope. They spent the afternoon discussing new video ideas and planning out different challenges they could do together. With Max's encouragement, Eli felt inspired again. As evening approached, they headed back to Eli's house. Eli had prepared a simple dinner, and they sat together, enjoying the food and each other's company. They talked about their dreams, fears, and everything in between. Eli felt more connected to Max than he had in a long time. After dinner, they decided to film a new video together. With the camera rolling, they decided to do a fun challenge where they tested their art skills against each other. They set up their supplies, and laughter filled the room as they created silly and messy art pieces. "This is so much fun," Eli said, feeling the joy of creativity flowing through him. "I've missed this." "Me too. This is what friendship is all about," Max replied, his face lighting up with excitement. As they wrapped up filming, Eli felt a sense of accomplishment. They had created something together, and it felt amazing. He realized that their friendship was not just about being physically together. It was about supporting and inspiring each other, no matter the distance. That night, as Eli lay in bed, he reflected on the day. He felt grateful for Max and the bond they shared. They had faced the challenges of distance and found a way to reconnect, stronger than before. He knew that their friendship was a source of strength, and he felt hopeful for the future. Eli drifted off to sleep with a smile on his face, knowing that no matter what happened next, they would always find a way to stay connected. Their laughter and creativity would continue to flourish, and together they could face anything that came their way. Distance might have tried to pull them apart, but their friendship was a force that could overcome any obstacle. Asterisk after Max's visit, Eli felt a surge of energy and inspiration. Their time together had reignited the spark he needed for his YouTube channel. He was excited to dive back into creating content, but he also felt the familiar pull of loneliness creeping in. When he realized Max was back home, the distance between them seemed to grow again, and Eli wanted to find a way to keep the connection alive. One evening, as Eli sat at his desk, he opened his laptop and began to plan. He wanted to create a special video dedicated to their friendship. It would be a way to celebrate what they had and show Max how much he appreciated him. Eli thought about all the fun moments they had shared over the years, the silly challenges, the late-night gaming sessions, and the heartfelt conversations. As he brainstormed, a new idea struck him. What if he included clips from their previous videos and moments they had captured together? He could create a montage that highlighted their friendship, showing how they supported each other no matter the distance. Excited by the thought, Eli grabbed his notebook and started jotting down ideas for the video. Over the next few days, Eli worked tirelessly on the project. He collected old video clips, photos, and any little mementos that reminded him of Max. While editing, he couldn't help but smile at the memories flooding back. He felt grateful for the friendship they shared and how it had helped him through difficult times. But as he worked late into the night, a familiar feeling of doubt crept in. What if Max doesn't like it? He thought. What if it's not good enough? Eli shook his head, trying to push those thoughts away. He reminded himself that the video was a celebration of their friendship. It didn't have to be perfect. It just had to be heartfelt. Finally, after several days of hard work, Eli completed the video. He watched it through one last time, feeling a mix of pride and nervousness. It was a collection of laughter, love, and memories, and it captured the essence of their bond. Eli felt his heart race as he prepared to share it with Max. That evening, Eli sent Max a text. "Hey, I made something special for you. Can we FaceTime tonight? I want to show you." His hands trembled slightly as he pressed send, anticipation building in his chest. A few minutes later, Max replied, "Of course. I can't wait to see it." Eli felt a wave of relief wash over him. When the time came for their call, Eli felt both excited and nervous. He set up his laptop and waited, trying to calm his racing heart. Finally, Max's face appeared on the screen, and Eli's worries melted away. "Hey, Eli, what's this surprise you have for me?" Max asked, his eyes bright with curiosity. "Okay, so I made a video. It's a tribute to our friendship," Eli said, feeling his cheeks warm with embarrassment. "I hope you like it." Max smiled encouragingly. "I'm sure I will. Let's see it." Eli took a deep breath and shared his screen, pressing play. As the video began, memories filled the screen. Moments of them laughing, playing games, and being silly together. Eli watched. Max's expression changed as they relived their shared experiences. The video played on, and Eli felt a mix of